Hey guys, Prince coming back to review the new Tom Cruise sci-fi movie Oblivion. I was looking forward to this movie solely because of actually two reasons. One of them was because the trailers looked really, really good. And first of all, before I say anything else, I have to commend the trailers for not giving away a good chunk of this movie, which is more than I can say for other movies coming out this year. Iron Man 3! But anyway, the other reason I was looking forward to this movie was because of the director Joseph Kosinski. Because his last movie was Tron Legacy, which I thought was a really great movie, both visually and emotionally. It had a lot to chew on. So I was really looking forward to Oblivion, because the trailers made it look like it was pretty much the same formula, and I thought, well, I like Tron Legacy, and Oblivion actually I thought improved on the formula, because it took it to a more darker and more sophisticated place with regards to the way it used that formula to tell its story, which I thought was really great, really commendable. It's one of those movies where you can't really say a lot without giving a whole lot away, so I'll try to keep it as spoiler free as possible. But first of all, visually, the movie is like top notch, tour de force. Like, it's just so beautiful to look at. Like, I go so far as to say it's even more beautiful than Avatar, because Avatar was like, this is like really realistic and like really cool. And Avatar was kind of like they kind of like made a lot up, which, given that, is pretty impressive that they made all that beautiful imagery up. But this one, they kind of like, it was kind of like a nice middle ground. They kind of like did realistic visuals, like something like I Am Legend, or like it was the post-apocalypse in the future, and like they just let the world kind of sit there. It was kind of like that, mixed with all the great grand nature and beauty of Avatar. Another thing this movie reminded me of, another couple things reminded me of I Am Legend, was that the first half of the movie reminded me of I Am Legend. It was like the day in the life sequence where like Tom Cruise like flying around and like go around and destroyed Earth. And I didn't like I Am Legend, but I thought it had, if this movie had all the strengths of I Am Legend, but none of the weaknesses. 'Cause I Am Legend had a lot of weaknesses, if you ask me. The other thing that this movie kind of reminded me of was The Matrix, because there was like a lot of build up of like what's going on, and then there's a huge mystery around it, and then you finally get to the big reveal. It's like, oh my god, it like changes everything. But unlike The Matrix, they save the big reveal to like the very end of the movie, which I actually kind of liked, because they give you a lot of time to get used to the story and the characters, so that this could be just me. I don't know if anyone else agrees with me on this, but by the time you finally got to the big reveal, you're so into the movie, or at least I was. I was so into the movie that I don't care if I get the big reveal. I don't care if I get the answers. I don't want to enjoy this movie. I just want to see these characters, and I'm so into the story. So that when the big reveal came up, it was just like an added bonus. I was like, oh cool, and now we're gonna get to see what really happened. It I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was actually pretty cool. It was visually fascinating. There was a lot to chew on emotionally, and it was a pretty deep movie. Like, especially when you get to the end. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, you keep saying a good chunk of it is like from I Am Legend, The Matrix, and like other movies. So how is it not like ripping those off? Well, because I can absolutely understand why people would think Oblivion is unoriginal, because I've seen like a lot of other reviews to this movie that say, oh yeah, it's borrowing from this, borrowing from this, borrowing from this, and I get that. But here's my theory. I think it's okay to have an unoriginal story, like borrow from stuff here and there, as long as you do something new and put your own unique spin on it. I felt Oblivion did that, but it's hard to explain without spoiling the movie. So I'd recommend go see it for yourself. But I actually really enjoyed this movie. I think that's another one of those good Tom Cruise movies. He's been making a couple good movies lately, which I enjoyed. Most of his movies are either really good or really bad, or maybe one or two in the middle. I think that's what stands up with his really good ones. It's not as good as like Rain Man or Minority Report, but it is pretty. There's a lot to chew on in this movie. I think it's actually really cool, and the music was actually pretty cool by M83. I'm not a big M83 fan, but I wasn't a big Daft Punk fan before seeing Tron Legacy, and I liked the music in that movie, and I liked the Tron Legacy soundtrack. So I think the music in Oblivion was actually I thought it was like more supportive of the movie. Like you can listen to it during the movie as cool. Whereas with the Daft Punk score of Tron Legacy, I thought you could absolutely listen to it on your own without having seen the movie, and it would just hold up, which I kind of think is a little annoying. Because I think music for a movie should it should be like a nice middle ground. The score for Oblivion was a nice middle ground. I really recommend this movie. I think it's very entertaining. I think you'll get into it. If you don't, I can see why. Like I can see why people wouldn't like this movie because there's either the unoriginal thing or like when the big reveal comes up, it like kind of sucks you out of the movie. A lot of people have been complaining about the big reveal kind of sucks you out of the movie. There's like a lot of someone said it was like silly, and some people say, oh, it's like it can divide audiences. I actually thought it was pretty good because, like I said, the start review, it takes us to a darker place. And like I read that they were gonna make it as a Disney movie, but they had Disney passed because, like I said, the show was a little too dark. They had to change. They would have to change a lot to make it family friendly. But the big reveal, it does get pretty dark. And that's not all I can say. But I actually thought it worked for the movie. I thought it actually really sucked into the story, and it made the big reveal, made all the bit more punch of the big reveal. Yeah, go in blind to this movie, absolutely. Do not, try to stay away from it as much as advertisement as you can. I saw, one trailer for this movie once, and that's pretty much it. So, if you, go to the movie theaters, hey, what should we see? Maybe Oblivion. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I think if you go with that mindset, I think you'll really enjoy it. So I give Oblivion a 9 out of 10. I think it's one of the better sci-fi films in a while. A lot of people say Looper was really great, but I thought Looper was good. It just kind of fell short by the wayside in a couple key areas. I think Oblivion has a lot to chew on, and what can I say? Like I said, if you don't like it, I can absolutely see why. I think it is going to divide a lot of people. But I'm on the good side for this movie. And summer movie season starts pretty soon. Very excited for that. Iron Man 3, Epic, Now You See Me, yada yada yada. The list goes on. Elysium, because I saw the new trailer for that. And Frenzy 27 out.